gotta love her like he loves to church. Love her for the love she's worth. You gotta love her like he loves to church.
Hello, everyone. I'm Joseph.
And I am Tara.
And we are the Mickens.
Mickens.
We are on
We're
the
back.
Dear Singles
Talk
show.
Yes.
We're stepping in today for Apostle Rudolph Ward.
Who is amazing,
And
by
yes,
the way.
absolutely. It's such an honor to be here with you guys today.
Yes.
So, we talked about our story the last time, and we kind of want to dig in and, get a little more transparent about who we are and, how we became the Mickens.
Oh my God, it was a roller coaster.
It was.
So yeah, as he said, we're just gonna be a little transparent and just tell you guys how we got here, how we stay here. Because listen, it's not easy to stay, and it's definitely a decision you have to make every single day when you wake up in the morning. Am I going to leave or am I going to stay? And I'm gonna tell you, I'm staying.
I'm staying.
Okay.
One thing that I am strong about believing in is the commitment to the call.
Yes.
So going into our story, when we first started dating, we kind of skated around the rink for a little while.
He liked me.
And she liked me.
No, and he didn't.
Let's set the record straight.
And he didn't want to tell me, and I was just a little too much for him in a good way.
Yeah, I didn't think she was gonna like me. But
Why did she not like this face? Okay, sorry, I get distracted.
We became friends. We became good friends, and so our relationship began to grow.
Right.
And she started coming around my group of friends more often than usual.
Not for him.
Not for me. At least that's what she say.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna leave that way. It's it.
Okay.
We started to have conversations, and in those conversations, we started realizing that we like each other.
Yes.
I know you like me, and you know that I like you too. So, but even in that, we started to realize, now I like this person, but is this meant to be? Can I do life with you? Can I do purpose with you?
Have we admitted it to each other yet, or we kind of just were still assuming?
I think we were still kind of skating around, but once we had a real conversation. One night we were at our friend's house because of accountability. We hung out at this friend's house, this couple that we love. And everyone had started to drift off and go to sleep.
Right.
And so we stayed up and we talked about purpose and about vision.
Y'all, he cried when I told him about like my story and like my past. And my past is not cute. It's ugly. It's just not cute. And he was crying. I was like, why is this dude crying about my testimony? But I just knew that was a sign. I don't know. Who cries about a person's testimony unless you're like supposed to be married to them? Right?
It was just really beautiful to me. It stuck out. And I saw what was amazing to me was in the middle of her test and her telling me everything that she's been through, I saw God and I saw how he was with her. And it attracted me to her even more. So at that point, we realized, something is going on here. This is, not what I'm used to.
This ain't normal.
This isn't normal. I haven't really been in a relationship like this, and when I say relationship, I don't mean dating. I just mean in contact general. With someone. I haven't experienced
no
this
friend, no family member.
It was definitely supernatural.
Right. It was the closest thing to what we had felt from only God before.
So good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now he don't touch God. Yeah, he's amazing. But I was like, what is this? I've never felt this except for like in a spiritual sense.
Absolutely. Which leads me to say, we believe that the relationship between a man and a woman in the marital content is defined as one of the greatest expressions of God's love in the earth.
Yes.
So like I said, we began to have those conversations. And so at that point we decided that we were going to date, but it was only because we knew that we wanted to be married. So we dated with the intent to be married.
Absolutely.
So shortly after, she moved to San Antonio for a whole year. So the
hardest year.
The first year of our relationship was it was tough.
Difficult.
It
I
was
think we saw
distance.
each other maybe like 4 times, which is good if you live 12 hours away. But that was before FaceTime was like super hot. I mean, it was hot, but like you had like this really whack service, Carrie. Like I had AT&T, okay, but he had like this.
She had the good stuff.
He had this really whack.
I had an iPhone
service.
though.
Right, and so we could never FaceTime. So we were just constantly on the phone. That was before a lot of things like came forth. Like Snapchat was in, but like not in. So basically, we didn't see each other much.
No, we didn't. But I'll tell you what kept us. What kept us was our foundation in God, our foundational values, because we built our relationship on God. We are here not because you cute. I mean, you bad, but that isn't what kept me.
Right.
It was what drew me to her was her relationship with God. And likewise for her, I imagine the same. What drew her to me was my relationship with God. So our foundation was based on God.
Absolutely.
And it helped us so much. It helped us in arguments because we argued. We didn't get physical. But
no.
We argued.
But we argued.
And we had disagreements. We didn't see eye to eye. It wasn't easy, but what kept us was our relationship with God.
And with that being said, because we had a relationship with God, as you probably remember from the previous viewing, and for those of you who are just tuning in, we did not kiss before we got married, and so that's something we decided on early on. Before we even, I don't know, it was like maybe 2 days into our relationship.
And it was so weird because it wasn't anything planned. It just kind of happened that way.
Right. And
not because, we weren't attracted.
Because listen.
That's not the problem.
Okay.
But it was just because this is different. This is like supernatural. I haven't experienced this before, so I want to treat it. I went into the relationship with the mindset I'm going to treat this with such reverence and such honor, because I don't want to mess this up. I've been in relationships before where I just messed things up and they went left and they just didn't bounce back. So I'm like, I know what that produced, so I'm going to go over here and make sure that the seeds that I plant, they will produce something totally different.
Come on, sir.
And that those seeds will be an example and a depiction of my relationship with God.
Absolutely. So we didn't kiss, which means we didn't touch, which means we definitely didn't have sex, okay?
No, we didn't.
Wanted to, plenty of times, but we did not cross those boundaries at all. But because we didn't have time to do that, I mean, what else is there to do but to talk and get to know each other, right? And so we just spent 2 years literally getting to know each other and learning every part, like the flaws, the good, the bad, the really, really ugly.
Absolutely.
Like, we just had that time. God graced us to really know the depths of each other's heart, and that definitely sustained us when we got married. The first year was a breeze.
It was.
Listen, when I tell you pure bliss, pure blessings, like we did not pay for anything for our wedding.
Nope.
I'm not sure if we mentioned that, but God so honored our commitment to Him.
He did.
That if people just came up to us
God
and was like,
commitment.
can we pay for your catering? Can we pay for your dress? Hey man, let me take care of those plates for the wedding.
Pay for your venue.
Can we pay for the venue? I mean, people were coming up and asking like crazy stuff. Can I buy the pens and the guest book for your wedding? We were like, who thinks of that?
Sure, thank you.
Right. Our church threw this huge bridal shower and bachelor party for him. Like, it was just a blessing. I mean, that was right before we got married, but even when we got married, like, people came in pouring money. We didn't pay for our honeymoon. I mean, God said all expense paid. Listen, He really blessed that thing.
Really
And so I
did.
think that's an important thing to just realize. Once you sow that seed, you don't just sow seeds of money. You
Come
can
on.
sow seeds of dedication and
Yep.
commitment to God.
Yep.
And so because we sowed that seed, I'm telling you, God gave it back 200-fold.
He did,
And we're
absolutely.
still benefiting.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I wanted to target that you said was good. All we had the time to do was get to know each other in a deeper
Yes.
way.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just say, friendship in a relationship is so important. People just jump into relationships and be like, I'm infatuated with you, you're fine, this, that, and the third. But what's there?
Right.
Because you're going to get mad at that person eventually.
Listen.
They're going to make you upset. You're
All
going to
the
want to
time.
leave. But what keeps you there? What keeps you there is the friendship in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's important. Because if we weren't friends, then what will we have?
Right. A prime example. Last week we were so mad at each other. We had the worst argument right before
Tell
I
folks.
went to
Just
work.
tell folks.
Listen, I am transparent. And my boss came in and she told me she wanted to promote me, and we weren't just necessarily talking that day. And so yeah, I want to continue this story after the break.
Okay.
I want to give them some suspense.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
We'll be back.
Hey, real quick, have y'all followed us on our social media platforms yet? Look, you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Dear Singles Talk Show. You can also follow us on Twitter at Dear Singles and the number 1. You can follow me on my personal Facebook page at facebook.com/Rudolph Ward Jr. You know why? Because I post Dear Singles thought-provoking questions all day long on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Look, we want you to come and be a part of the Dear Singles family. You can also send any questions, any testimonies, any comments, anything that you want to send us to our email at dearsingles@gmail.com. Look, we want you to come and just engage with us, be a family with us. And also, if you are feeling led to sow into Dear Singles Talk Show, because we want to take this on the road, we want to come to a state, in your state, we want to come somewhere around you because there's somebody connected to you that may have a testimony or may have a word from God about living single in the time that we have now and staying pure for the Lord. Guess what? If you need to do that, you can. You can go to paypal.me/unique ministries to sow that seed. And any seed that you sow, you will get a free CD. My latest CD has 21 songs on it, and it will bless you. It will bless you beyond measures, okay? So this is what we want you to do. We want you to share this video. We want you to tag somebody in it, and we want you to continue to tune in. Thank you all. Again, Dear Singles Talk Show every Tuesday on the Now Network at 9 Eastern Standard Time. God bless.
All right, guys.
We're back.
Welcome back to Dear Singles Talk Show. For all of you who are maybe just tuning in or just coming back with us, we were just talking about my story, and I wanted to kind of build suspense because I'm weird like that, but it's okay. I know who I am. So yeah, let me tell you, last week we had this crazy argument, and he made me mad. Listen, y'all, he made me mad. I didn't send my normal good morning text, baby, I love you, God said you're blessed and wonderful. No, I did not want to talk to him.
God.
I didn't.
Oh my God.
And so my boss came in around 11 o'clock, and she told me, Tara, you're doing a great job. We really want to promote you. It comes with a really great raise. And so I'm like, what? Like, that's something we have been praying about like crazy. And so when she left, I couldn't tell my coworkers at the time. Like, I couldn't tell my team. And so, because she wanted to release it at a certain point. And so at that point, I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And I was like, okay, I got to call my best friend. Guys, guess who my best friend is? That guy. Him. I mean, I have other best friends, but I was like, I got to get over this because I have to tell him my good news. So I called him and I literally said, Joseph, I know you mad at me, but I don't care because I have great news. And so he was like, I'm not even mad at you. What? And so at that moment, we were able to just come back to the foundation. And so, oh my God, as I'm talking, I'm sorry, get off topic really quick, but it's kind of on topic still. It reminds me of like a tornado, right? So like if a tornado comes in and blows a house off, like you still have that foundation there. If it's a strong foundation. And so, like, that's kind of like how our relationship is. Like, when storms come in and even try to blow our house away or does blow the house away, like, that foundation is still there. And because we have that foundation, I was able to just step right in and say, look, this is what it is. God blessed us. And listen, by the end of the night, we were celebrating and just glorifying God for what he had done and for answering our prayers. So yeah, I just had to tell that crazy story. Even when I'm mad, I cannot resist him. He has Grace face. He's so handsome. Okay.
So just going back to that foundation of friendship, like it's so important. I mean, can you imagine if we weren't really fond of each other, but we were just physically attracted to each other? And you know, can you imagine where we would be or where anybody would be if they didn't have friendship? I mean, you gotta have friendship. It's so important.
Absolutely. And so we were having a conversation earlier today, and we were just talking about, you know, our relationship and how we got here. I don't know. We always tell our story as if it's new all the time. We tell it to each other, but we're just in awe of literally what God has done in 5 short years. We've been married 3, almost 3. And we've been dating and just together for about 5 almost. June 1st, it'll be 5. And so, we were just talking about that. And we were talking about how when we were dating and engaged, oh my God, we had so much drama and trouble. Not like bad drama, like gossiping and all that, but like literally we had some of the worst arguments when we were engaged and just dating. Like, I mean, it was time. Y'all extra fool with him. I was so broken. I mean, I'm ashamed to admit it, but hey, we being real here. But I actually fool him sometimes, and he did with me too. I can remember we were in another town, and he made me mad, and I'm gonna walk away. And so we were about an hour away from home, and I got so mad. We had our friends in the car.
Had friends with us.
I parked the car on the side of a busy highway. I tried to walk off. I mean, I almost died. It was just insane. But we would have those crazy moments where we would literally see the ugly in each other, the most broken places, just all that. And at the time, we thought about our relationship is under attack and the enemy is doing this and that. But now, and I didn't realize it until today, literally. So I know it's God and I know it's something that we need to tell the world. But I didn't realize it until today that we, that was our test. That was what, God allowed us to see every single part of each other to help us sustain this grace in marriage and know how to navigate the different places. And it reminds me of someone who goes to the police academy, right? So they don't just hand you your gun and your badge and tell you, go for it, go conquer the world. You have to go through basic training, which is hard as heck. They mace you. My mom's an officer. Glory of God to her. I just can't do that. Hats off to all officers. But she had to go through training. She told me she was the only woman. She went to she went to basic training in 1992. And she was the only woman there. And they maced her. They treated her so horribly. But she was just saying how hard it was. But I bet you the next time she got maced as an officer, she knew exactly what it would feel like, and it didn't throw her off as much. And so it wasn't until today that I realized God literally allowed us to see the ugliest parts of each other. And so now when we go through stuff, it's you know what, I don't really like that part of you. I've seen this before and I know how to handle you. And so I think that just speaks to even his rewards as you say yes to his commands. And one thing he asks us to do is to not kiss and really learn each other. And so once you say yes to God and follow his directions, you're able to just, I don't know, reap the rewards. It doesn't feel good, right? Exactly. A storm feels scary and the winds are blowing, right? But I don't know, he allowed me to see the worst parts of you, so it doesn't even offend me anymore at all. So a lot of people look at us and they think we've been married for way longer than we have.
Yeah. But like she said, it's because we're able to, people are able to suspect that. I mean, I don't boast in it, but it's because we actually took time to work through those raw, difficult, hard moments. We didn't give up on each other. You know, in the moment, it may have felt like all hell was breaking loose, but when the storm comes,
And it will come.
We took the time to say, hey, okay, what's God saying about this? God, speak to me. What do I need to do? What do I need to say to her? One thing that I was thinking about on the way to the show was that, you know, sometimes when you're listening to God in a relationship, He will tell you literally what to do and what to say. Now, what messes you up or a person up is their pride. If you're not listening to God, if you just want to be selfish, like, forget her, forget him,
Yes.
I don't care. It's about me. That's
All right,
where you fall.
Yeah.
That's where you fall. That's where your destruction and your demise is. I'm telling you, listen to what I'm saying.
Linda.
I'm telling you, when you are selfish, and listen, everyone has selfish moments. Everyone has,
Absolutely.
you know, some level of pride. It doesn't matter who you are. You've had some level of pride in your life at some point. But it's when you decide to kill that flesh and kill that pride, that's when you're able to hear God. And that's when you're able to hear, hey, go buy your wife flowers. It's going to make her day. She's having a bad day. She ain't cooked me breakfast this morning. I ain't going to get nothing. Okay, sir. Take your tail home, and you're going to be upset when you get there because your wife had a bad day and she's not going to be able to respond to you. So it's things like that. It happens to me all the time. Some days I might miss it. Like, I ain't really got time to go do something special for my wife. Okay, when I get home, you know, I realize she's had a bad day, and I could have fixed it. I could have changed her world by listening to God. So I started to pick up on those moments to say, hey, let me take a minute to see.
Oh, Tootie, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, let me take a moment to see how I can minister to my wife, because marriage is a ministry. So let me take a moment to see how I can minister to my wife. And God will speak. He will speak to you when you're in the middle of an argument. He will speak to you when the storm has calmed, and He will tell you what to say. Just listen.
Absolutely. That's so good. And I didn't know he had a lot of moments. Listen, I love this journey. I'm always learning about this man of God. But I didn't know about these moments, but I do the same thing. And so all in all, through telling our story, we just really wanted to encourage you guys and let you know, like, how we got here, how we stay here. Like, this is not easy. The test comes, the storms come, but like that foundation,
strong, solid.
It'll keep
We made
you.
sure that. We made sure our foundation was solid.
Absolutely. So yeah.
So we're going to go to another break, and we will be back.
Don't go anywhere.
All right, we're back
Welcome
with the
back.
Dear Singles Talk Show.
Absolutely.
Hope you guys are enjoying all of this. This is actually really, really fun for us.
It's really, really fun, and I'm sad that we're coming to a close.
Yeah.
But one thing we just really wanted to touch on was temptation. And so the magical word that all of our friends ask us, that people come up to us and talk about is like, how in the heck did y'all achieve this?
Yes.
In like the generation that we live in, where sex is on TV every single day.
Every corner.
Listen, you can watch a cartoon and see some form of sexuality. Is you can walk past a conversation and hear things.
It's right.
Lord rebuke. I mean, you go to the store and see booties out and everything, you know. So everyone's question is, how do you sustain? Like, what did y'all do? And so I can remember vividly of just times where we were tempted to fall into sexual sin or to leave. Like, here's the thing that I want to hit on, and we talk about it all the time, Joe. Like, life is a choice. Okay, and so one thing that Joseph, oh my God, he helped me so much because he was way stronger than me. Let me put that out there. But listen, he led me. But one thing he used to tell me is, Tar, you are in control of your emotions. You have control of what you think. You have control of what you say. And so I can remember even when we got engaged, listen, I wanted to kiss this brother. I wanted to go on and go to the courthouse that moment so we can consummate this marriage. Like, the attraction was high. I mean, I'm just being real here. Like, we are normal. We did an abnormal thing, but we are normal people.
We're normal.
And so he stared in my eyes, and he stared a little bit too long. And so we were just like, hold up, like, listen. And so we went around our friends, like, we just like, we came together and we like switched our actions. We switched our positions. We got around somebody else. We weren't alone. And so those are the things that you have to think about. It's like choosing to eat right.
Yeah.
You can either go to Burger King and get nothing against Burger King. I love Burger King. But you can go get a burger and a fry, or you can go down the street and get a salad with some vinaigrette.
It's a choice.
It's a choice. So yeah, I think that's what we would just tell the world on how we did it. Like, everything is a choice.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we are hosting a class that starts June 1st, and we're so excited about it, guys. And it's basically a class teaching people on how to stay pure. The number one topic. And so you may think you may not need that, but it gets real. Like, it gets so real no matter how deep in the word you are. If God has given you your wife or your husband, or if you're already engaged, like, that attraction is very real. And so sometimes you feel like you're superhuman. And so we're just giving people tangible options, tangible tools, like books, tools, and we're super excited about it. So you can find us. My name is Tara Mickens.
I'm Joseph Mickens.
You can just our plain names on Facebook and Instagram. Inbox us. We respond super fast. Ask us questions. We do True Tuesday every Tuesday, so you can tune in on Facebook. Follow us. We talk about what's going on in our marriage. Last week we talked about the attack on our marriage. Like, we talked about the miscarriages I've had. So if you want to, that's a whole nother story. Listen, come in and just tune in and talk with us. Absolutely. But we just want to focus in on you guys right now. And for the ladies, just like last time, I just want to encourage you to stay strong, continue to know who you are. And even now, I feel like someone's watching, and you may not have done it the right way. Listen, I was not a virgin when I got married. That is okay.
That's okay.
If you messed up, just know that there's redemption in God. No one cares about what you've done. And even if they do care, like, who cares? God loves you, daughter. He loves everything about you. You are a queen. Don't forget that there's a king out there waiting on you, and he will treat you with respect. He will love you. Get you some accountability, guys. And I love you, sister.
Yeah. So I'm going to take some time. I just want to encourage you guys. It's not easy. It's not easy. And a lot of times guys get the stigma of having it harder than females because we don't really like to admit that we, have insecurities, we have flaws, and even with those flaws, we let the enemy magnify them. So I just want to encourage you guys, it's not impossible to wait. It's just not. So I just want to encourage you, get in a deeper relationship with God. Absolutely. It's going to help you. It's going to sustain you. It's going to, it's just going to be very beneficial.
Absolutely.
Get to know God.
Yes. So, and tune in to Dear Singles Ministry every Tuesday. Apostle Rudolph Ward will be back at 9 a.m. next Tuesday. Come and learn some new tools on how to be single successfully.
Some good stuff.
And we'll see y'all when we see you.
See you next
time.
Love you guys. Love you. We out.